Navigating your way through marketing your small business on social media can seem overwhelming, especially when it is filled with experts telling you that to be successful, you need to post 3 reels, 9 stories, 11 posts, and have 9.75 hashtags on every other post, whilst standing on your head. But the truth, most of that advice is designed more for clickbait and engagement than it is to actually help you. Which is why in this episode, I am calling out some of the most common advice that's shared as fact, but actually it's not just unhelpful, it's total BS. So whether you are feeling overwhelmed, second guessing your every post, or just wondering why things feel harder than they should, then this one is for you. But before we dive in, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to Show Up and Be Heard, the podcast that exists to help women like you simplify your business and your life so that you can stop feeling so overwhelmed. I am your host, Becky McAvoy, owner and founder of Be Heard Socials, and I am an award-winning social media marketer and international speaker who specialises in content strategy and organic growth on social media. Through this podcast, as well as my own social media, email community, and my award-winning membership, the Boss Your Socials Club, my mission is to cut through the noise to make social media marketing accessible and easy to understand for businesses that can't afford to outsource or who don't have the teams required to implement most of the advice that is being given to them. So if you want to cut through the noise and BS and get practical, actionable advice tailored specifically to make social media marketing accessible and easy to understand, or if you want to be part of a supportive community where women entrepreneurs can feel connected and inspired to achieve their dreams, then keep listening because you are in the right place. To get more tips like the ones you hear in this podcast, make sure you join my email community through the link in the show notes. Right then, let's get started with this week's episode. There is so much advice flying around when it comes to social media and marketing your business on social media. And most of it just makes people feel like they are doing it all wrong. And I hear this so often from my members. And it's frustrating. It's really frustrating because honestly, a lot of it just isn't true, or it's taken wildly out of context, or it is based on something that someone has done once and's worked for them, but isn't like a thing that works for everybody. And all it ends up doing is piling on the pressure. So in today's episode, I am going to be giving you the facts, the clarity, and hopefully the sigh of relief that you need to just ignore it and do what's right for you. Right then, let's get into some of the most common ones that I hear that are just absolute BS. So BS number 1, going viral is the key to success. This one is everywhere, and I get asked about it a lot. I get asked about what I think about it. I get asked about how to do it. I get asked all kinds of different things about it. And honestly, it makes my eye twitch a little bit because yes, going viral can give you a nice boost if it happens, but it shouldn't be the goal. And it definitely shouldn't be part of your strategy and included as part of your strategy. Why? Because going viral without the foundations in place, things like a clear message, a strong offer, the processes and the structures to be able to deal with that, and the ability to convert that new visibility into trust can actually do more harm than good. Sure, you get your eyes on loads of pages and loads of people see you, but then it's not necessarily to follow that up a reason for people to stick around. So what really matters is consistency, connection, and conversions. That's what builds a sustainable business, not chasing a one-off spike in views that might be seen by thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people, but not the right people, and not getting you a whole ton of followers, but not the right followers, because we need to remember that we are businesses whose ultimate goal is selling on social media, not getting all of these massive views and loads of followers. Like I said, those things are really good. Obviously, they're really good, but they have to be the right people and they have to be strategic. So like I said, going viral can be brilliant. And, you know, I don't think anybody would sniff at the chance to get in front of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. But it doesn't necessarily lead to the things that you think it will lead to. So when you make that your goal, and when you make that the thing that you're chasing, or you include it as part of your strategy, you can often be distracted from the things that really matter. And like I said, that can then lead to doing more harm than good. So yes, brilliant if you're able to go viral, and if you've got all the things in place for it not to do more harm than good, that's amazing. But just remember, it's not the key to success. And consistency, connection, and conversions as businesses are the things that really matter for our social media content and our social media marketing. Okay, so BS number 2. Follow trends or get left behind. So know what all the latest trends are, and get on it as quickly as you can. Drop everything that you're doing, and make sure that you are one of the first people to be able to do it. I really hate this one because following trends can be really fun, and sometimes I do it. And I mean, it can only be fun if you actually enjoy doing it. But doing it just because some social media guru told you to is a fast track to burnout, and can end up as cringy content that doesn't actually reflect who you are. And a little bit like going viral, they might give you a little visibility boost, but they rarely lead to long-term results unless you weave them into your message in a way that feels right for you. I would much rather see you create, or advise that you create, content that is useful, heartfelt, and helps your ideal client or customer, than a week's worth of trending reels with no substance and doesn't speak to your audience, doesn't speak to the people that you're trying to reach, and doesn't lead to building know, like, or trust, or know, like, and trust, or doesn't lead to conversions as well. Because again, we are businesses, and that's what we should be putting most of our focus on. So it is quality over virality. Virality, is that the right way to say it? Virality. Every time. It's quality every time that matters. So again, this absolutely isn't saying don't follow trends, and it's okay sometimes to do them just if they're a little bit of fun, but don't do it at the expense of your calm and your zen and dropping everything else. Do it if it feels right for you, if it doesn't take a lot of effort, if it doesn't overwhelm you. Absolutely get on it, and you can have a little bit of fun with it, because we all need to have fun sometimes. And sometimes there might be trends that speak directly to your audience, and you're like, right, yeah, I want to do that. Sometimes I do trends way after they finish trending because I just like the idea behind the content. And, a lot of social media marketers, experts, etc., would tell you not to do that because there's no point. But if that's still creating content that will speak to my audience, it doesn't matter if I don't get the benefit of the trend of getting in front of tons and tons of people, if I get in front of the right people and it's the right message. So yeah, you absolutely don't have to follow trends. Do it if you want to, do it if you find it fun, do it if you have the capacity to do it and it's relevant, but don't feel the pressure to do it, because you will not get left behind just because you've missed a trend. Okay, so BS number 3. Using a scheduler limits your reach. Now, this is advice, or this is things that I'm asked quite a lot, like, is this true? And it just absolutely isn't. Not even remotely. It is absolutely false. It's completely wrong. And Instagram themselves have confirmed that this isn't true. Using a scheduler does not limit your reach. Whether you post directly into the app or whether you use a scheduler, it doesn't impact how your content is distributed. What does help is posting when your audience is most active. So looking at some of the insights to find that out. And if you can, being around to engage with your audience once the post goes out. So I've advised some members and clients in the past to actually post, rather than posting at the time their audience is most active, which is important. But, if you have to choose, post at a time that you can follow up and engage afterwards, because that can send some positive signals to the algorithm about your content and about your social media. So it comes down to working out what is best for you and how that works. So have a look at, when your audience is active, and then have a think about when is best for you, and then decide what works best and test it. Maybe test it doing it at the time that works best for you and you can engage. Do it and test it at a time that your audience is active and see what you get the best results from. But whatever you decide to do, don't fear using a scheduler, because it does not limit your reach. So yeah, schedule that post. Scheduling is one of the best ways to reduce your overwhelm, buy yourself back some brain space. It's not cheating the algorithm. It's working with your life. It's making it fit around you. And that is what I am all about. So yeah, use that scheduler. I have done previous episodes in the past where I've spoken in quite a lot of depth about schedulers, but to give you a whistle stop of the one that I recommend, I use Metrical, and I will link to that in the show notes if you want to go and check it out. It's super simple. The free version is more than enough for most people. And the only reason that I pay for it, even at the level of content that I put out, is because I want to link it to LinkedIn as well. But even when you have to pay for it, it's quite low cost a month. I think it's about £17 or £18 a month. And like I said, it's one of the best ways to reduce your overwhelm. So don't let anybody telling you that it limits your reach stop you from doing that, because it doesn't, and that's just not true. And if you want to go and check it out, you don't have to use Metrical. There's tons of schedulers out there, but I will link to Metrical in the show notes that you can go and check that out. Okay, BS number 4. We are halfway through. I've got 3 left. BS number 4, you will get less reach if you say link in bio in your caption. Again, just not true. And again, Instagram themselves has said this doesn't affect how your post performs. This is something that I have heard experts in air quotes say a lot, and it's not true. It's something I've been asked by members a lot, and it's not true. So please stop worrying about it. You don't need to twist yourself into weird sentence shapes or say things like, change all the words around, like check the shiny thing in my profile to avoid saying the words link in bio. You don't have to put that bit into your comments. You don't have to do any of it. Putting it in your caption does not impact the reach of your post. So just say it, be clear, make it easy for your audience. Instagram isn't punishing you for that. And you do want to direct people to, it's frustrating on LinkedIn that you can't include a link in the caption, and you can include a link, but it won't be clickable. So tell people very clearly and very directly where they can go and find that link. Obviously, there is other ways that you can do that by using chatbots such as ManyChat, which I will link to in the show notes as well. And that's just a way that if you say comment a certain word, it will send the link directly to their DMs. That's quite a nice way to do it. And I used to use that, but it wasn't because link in bio reduced reach or reduced anything like that. It was just because it would send people a clickable link, and the conversion rates can be better on that. So if you want to go and check it out, and you want to, again, that's quite low cost per month, but if you want to invest in something that automates that for you, I will link to ManyChat in the show notes. But if you don't want to invest in that for whatever reason, you can say link in bio without panicking that it's going to reduce your reach, because it absolutely isn't. And as I said, Instagram themselves have said this isn't true. Okay, so BS number 5. This one is everywhere. Reels are the only way to grow, or reels are the best way to grow, or you have to have reels in your content if you want to grow. And while there's some truth that reels can help you reach new people, they are not the be all and end all. The biggest factor, and this has been confirmed by Instagram themselves, that affects your reach is actually inconsistency. So when you go quiet for long periods, Instagram just doesn't have as much data on what you post about or who to show it to. They've said this is something they're working on to try and work around it. But at the moment, that's the way the algorithm works. If you post and then don't post again for a month or another few months or whatever it might be, that has the biggest impact on your reach, not what type of content you are posting. So if you like making reels, go for it, because they can be brilliant. They can be a really good way to get more views. But if you don't force yourself to do video if it drains you. You can grow through carousels. Carousels are a brilliant way to increase your reach, because you get double the chance to be shown, basically. So carousels are multiple image posts, and what Instagram does is it will show it out once with the first image in your post, and then say, for example, someone logs on later. Have you ever noticed sometimes you'll see that you're seeing the second image in a carousel? Well, the reason is because you probably missed it the first time. So carousels can be a brilliant way to increase reach. Single image posts can be a great way to increase reach. And actually, Instagram have recently come out and said if you add music to single image posts or carousels, it gives you the opportunity to show up in the explore page or show up where reels show up. So if you don't like doing reels, don't do them. Add music to your posts. The only frustrating thing about that is you can add music beforehand, but if you want to use Instagram's in-app music, you have to schedule it, or you have to post it directly in app or use the Instagram scheduler, which can be a little bit glitchy. But you can add music before you post it, as long as you've got all the rights to be able to do that. And you can schedule that. So if you want to try how that works, add music to your carousels and single image posts, because they will show up in the same places that reels do. And also stories really increase your reach as well. So as long as you are showing up consistently with content that connects, it doesn't have to be reels. You can play about with that. But like I said, you can really see it will come across in your content if you really don't like doing the reels. So absolutely play about with them, because you'll get more confident and they will get better if you want to, but you really, really don't have to. There's other ways that you can do it. Like I said, you can add music to carousels or single image posts. You can do stories, or don't add music and don't do stories, but be consistent with it. And remember that consistency, and in fact, I did an episode on what consistency really means and where it matters. So I'll link to that in the show notes. Consistency isn't about posting every day. It's not even about posting 3 times a week. It's about posting at a frequency that works well for you, that you can maintain and is sustainable. So yeah, reels are absolutely not the only way to grow. They can be brilliant, and there is some truth in that they get you more reach sometimes, but they are not the be all and end all. And the most important thing is that you get consistent, and you're not going to get consistent if you're creating content that you hate. So, like I speak to a lot of members as well, where I say get consistent first and then try drip feeding in some reels. But the main goal to focus on to start with is being consistent, and doing it in a way that works for you and a way that makes you not resent it and not hate it. Okay, so BS number 6, and this is the final one. You need a super aesthetic and polished grid to be taken seriously as a business. Now, this one makes me laugh a little bit, because Instagram themselves have said people prefer content that feels a bit less polished. It's not Pinterest. It's not a design portfolio. It's a social media platform. And yes, having some visual consistency and a brand around it can help people recognize you and your brand. But no one is zooming in to admire your perfectly matched color scheme or whether your posts line up in a checkerboard. If people are looking at your posts, they might be asking things like, can this person help me? Do I trust them? Do they get me? Like questions like that. It's not like, have they got the right colors and do they look the best? Your bio, your content, your message on social media matters way more than being super aesthetic and super polished. Not whether your grid looks like it's been planned with a ruler and a ring light. Like, obviously you want it to look good and you want to look professional, but it's not the be all and end all. And like I said, Instagram have come out themselves and said people prefer less polished content. And if you think about it, most people are coming on social media not to look at what businesses are up to, but to be social and to interact socially. So, when your posts are super polished and super aesthetic, it might not be the thing they're looking for. Now, you might want to do that with some of your posts, and it can depend on the kind of business that you are. This isn't a one size fits all approach, but if it's that whole done is better than perfect approach, if being super polished and super aesthetic is holding you back from actually posting, a posted post is better than no post at all. So stop stressing about the perfect pastel filter or having your post look like a pack of color-coded sticky notes, and focus on connection, clarity, and content with purpose, and content that speaks to your audience. Okay, so, there are many more things that I could have said in this episode, but I'm going to keep it to those 6. So I'm just going to do a quick sum up, because there is so much noise out there when it comes to Instagram advice, and it really frustrates me because, like I said, I see it hold so many small business owners back. But when you really strip it back, success comes from consistency, showing up in a way that feels good for you, and creating content that genuinely connects with people. You don't need to chase trends. You don't need to look perfect. You don't need to go viral. And you can absolutely use a scheduler without fear of it impacting your reach. So if this episode gave you a little breath of relief, or you just feel a little bit lighter afterwards, let me know. I would love to hear. Please share it to your stories. Tag me, Be Heard Socials on Instagram and Facebook, or I am Becky McAvoy over on LinkedIn, or just pop into my DMs for a chat. I would really, really love that. So until next time, keep showing up in a way that works for you, and don't let the BS distract you from your brilliance, because you have absolutely got this. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am truly grateful for your time and your energy today. I know that you've got a million things on your plate, and the fact that you're here investing your time into something that will help your business and your socials grow is something I am really proud of you for. Before you go though, If you love this podcast and you're a woman running a small business who wants to make social media easier and business life less lonely, I've got something for you that I want to tell you a little bit more about. The Boss Your Socials Club is here to bring you inspiration, accountability, confidence, and community. It's a place where we ban the word should because we believe in bespoke advice that will work for you, your circumstances, your life, and your business. As a member, you get a clear content plan every month, ready-to-use templates, and the accountability to actually show up. Plus, you'll have expert support and a community of incredible women who get it and who want to cheer you on and support you in your business journey. And we all need a bit of that. Think of it like having a teeny tiny social media marketing expert in your pocket, giving you the knowledge and the assurance when it comes to posting great, engaging content on your social media platforms and showing up in a way that grows your business without the overwhelm and with a community of women cheering you on. Whether you're just getting started or looking to take your social media to the next level, Boss Your Socials Club has everything you need. You can join from just £24 a month or save with an annual membership, which is £240 for the year, so you get 2 months free. Thank you again for being here today, and I can't wait to catch you in the next episode. Until then, keep showing up, and please always remember, realising that you're not actually meant to do this stuff alone is the first step to making it easier. So I'll see you next time.